This was the Walstad tank. As you can see, I stripped it all out. I wasn't having any fun with it anymore. It was full of scuds and they seem to be tearing the plants apart, and then that just basically ruins the Walstad method, doesn't it? So learn something from the tank. I always like to learn something, don't, as you know. So what's going on with this tank? I've set it up as a planted tank. I thought it's in my living space, so I want something nice to look at. And so I've set this up, and it's got, at the moment, I'm running a sponge filter. I did buy a canister filter, a posh, all expensive with the glass lily things, and I've got CO2. But the problem is the cabinet. I checked the measurements and the canister filter fits in the cabinet. What it doesn't do is it doesn't go around the door. So I'd have to keep taking the door off to get it in and out, which is a pain. So it's kind of on hold at the moment. I'm deciding what to do about that. But in the tank we've got Rotala orange juice, we've got Ludwigia repens Reuben and some Storagine repens and some narrow leaf Java fern. So they're the plants I'm putting in. I've got CO2, I haven't set it up yet. I'm just watching how the tank gets on and matures. And then I've planted it in Oliver Knot soil, and then I've got this cereal stone I've put in, and then what I wanted to do is create an island because I wanted a load of negative space so I can see the fish swimming. This wood is manzanita wood, so there's 2 pieces in there, and manzanita's not cheap. And then I've put some sand in with some detailing stone. I've also put some coarse sand in, so I've got this big negative area of swimming space, because what I want to do is get some angelfish in here, grow them out, some nice angelfish, grow them out, and hopefully get a breeding pair out of them, start breeding some angels. Because now these 2 tanks haven't got a light on, but they're just temporary tanks. So this one is, and then I'm going to set up a light on that one. So this one is, it's got the livestock, it's got the Galaxy Rasbora or Celestial Pearl Danios, it's got Siamese fighting fish or beta, whatever you want to call it, and there's crystal shrimp. There's one there. There's crystal shrimp in the tank. Now what I want to do with the crystal shrimp, let's see if I can get a better footage of them. It's a bit hard without the light. There you go. Oh, crystal shrimp. Now what I've done is I've set this tank up. I've got some Oliver Knot soil and I've set it up, so got Oliver Knot soil in there so to buffer the soften the water. I've got some wood in here. This is simply just some Acer campestre field maple, just so to grow some biofilm on. And the sponge filter was already cycled, and I've put it in and just let it run through it, because the Oliver Knot soil, well, aquarium soils in general release a lot of ammonia when you first set them up. So I'm just going to let it, give it a couple of weeks to cycle. I've got some, I don't know where it is on at the moment, it's not to hand, but I've got some GH buffer. I've got an RO system. I filled this up with rainwater, and then what I'm going to start doing is water changing with the stuff before I put the crystal shrimp in. So then I'll set up a nice little colony to breed some crystals. So this tank, I've put all the plants that were in the Walstad tank in this tank. I've used it as a setup tank to house the plants. So what we have is, we've got loads of plants in here. There's, at the back, there's Rotala rotundifolia, right at the back there in the corner. Let's see if I can get a picture of it. And then we've got Amazon sword here. We've got a Madagascar lace plant down here. We've got another Apongiton here. I never got the name of it at the shop. The guy just told me it was an Apongiton when I asked. He didn't know the name. And then Copa caroliniana, Biggia repens, Hydrocotyle tripartita. I never seem to have any luck with this. And then I've got a Java fern. It wasn't doing very well. It's starting to bounce back, but it's got a lot of algae on the leaves that were. It's got a lot of algae on the leaves that were breaking down. And then at the front, we've got some Cryptocorn Wendetii, green, and then brown. And then that's this half the tank. Oh no, we've got the dwarf sage down there. What else have we got? On this side of the tank, as you can see, we've got some Limnophilia sessifolia. We've got some Penophanita, or Panophanita, and then down we've got the dwarf sage. We've got some Anubias down there, and then the lily bulb. It wasn't doing very well in the other tank. It's starting to bounce back now. It's starting to put out some leaves, and then I don't know whether you can see, but over there's a couple of leaves that broke off and they're in the substrate, and they seem to be doing well. They seem to be growing. we've got some lobelia cardalis down there, and then there's a plant in the corner. We've got 4 Amazon swords here, but behind it there's 2 stems that I've got with an order of shrimp. I don't know what they are. If any of you know, can you let me know in the comments, because I've got absolutely no clue what that plant is in the corner. And then right at the back I've got Rotala indica tank. At the moment I've got a pair of endless, well I'm assuming this is the female's a guppy, and then the male's an endless guppy. Then we got the big 5-foot tank. Sorry, there's bits of wire and stuff hanging down from the ceiling where I've attached the lights. I need to do a bit of take a week off work and get in the fish room and sort it out, because I've just little things I've been like just plugging in and changing around while I'm in here doing water changes and stuff, and I need to get in here and really tidy. So I've got leopard blue ram's horns in here. I've got similar plants, lobelia cardalis. I've got floating plants. I've got tons of salvinia on all my tanks really. There's, I don't know whether you can see in the glare, but there's salvinia there, salvinia there. There's just floating plants, you know, aerial advantage and all that. And then what I have got going in this plant, I've got absolutely tons of, I was given this plant by the fish shop, and I was given a big fish bag full of, and it looks like Ludwigia repens, but I'm not too sure. If anyone's got an idea what this plant is, let me know. And then I've got some bristlenose plecos down in this corner. I've popped some veggies in here last night to give them a little bit of things to munch on. So down there, I don't know whether you can see, there's a female. The caves, they're in and out the caves. They tend to go over, have a nose, go in them for a bit and then come back out. And then up here I've got some male guppies. They're mosaic Dumbo ear guppies. So what I want to do is get a breeding project going with them too. Well, everything in here I want to breed, don't I? So, but the common bristlenose pleco, what I've found on information on the internet, on YouTube, is people say if you're struggling with other types of plecos or fish, if you put a breeding pair of plecos in, they release a hormone that triggers breeding behaviour. And then I've got some Elacaris or Anacaris or Elodia densa, whatever you want to call it. It's got about. Then we've got a big thing here, this 200 litre tank. It's got some, again, Bacopa caroliniana. It's got some Limnophilia sessifolia, and it's got some of that, what I'm assuming is Ludwigia repens. It looks like Ludwigia repens. This is definitely, that piece in the middle of the screen now is definitely Ludwigia repens. What I've got in here, in this tank, I'll stand back, in here is, I've got loads of guppies, and what I'm doing is I'm looking for the females. I'm trying to get females out that haven't bred with other fish, because guppies can hold milt for 10 months, so they can keep producing eggs off the same male. So what I'm doing is I'm going to weed out any males so they can't breed, keep the females that haven't bred yet and haven't got any milt, and then I'm going to put them in this tank with the male Dumbo ears. So then it gives me a nice gene pool to start breeding with the guppies. So that's something I've learned. And then, as I say, there's more salvinia sat on the top just to give it a bit of aerial advantage. In here I've got some endless from, there's some female and male endless in here. This is me red shrimp tank. There's red shrimp all over the place. There's one there, there's a few down there. I don't know whether I can get them to zoom in. There's one of the female endless, and there's the male just here. I don't know whether you can see because of the light. There he is. So I've got him, and then in the middle tank I've got some blue shrimp going in here. Can't really see any at the moment. They tend to hide at the back, and they're only smaller blues, but what I'm going to do is get some more blue shrimp to bulk out the colony. And then in this tank I've got my yellows, and I've got some female endless. There's some female endless there, and then there's a tiger endlet just here. What I want to do is get some endlet breeding projects going. I want to get my shrimp breeding. The shrimp are already breeding. There's a big one at the back down there. don't know whether you can see it, but there's some buried shrimp in here, and then there's some buried shrimp in the red tank. So yeah, they're going. What I've been doing is buying stock of cherry shrimp from different sources, red cherry shrimp and yellow cherry shrimp. I've been buying them just like a few each time and dropping them in, so it keeps the gene pool fresh. Makes sense. So there's the 3 nano tanks. Now my plan for the fish room for this winter is I want to get some female guppies, get them in here, which will empty this tank, and then I'm going to set this up. What I want to do is get a few different pairs of endless and guppies going, because the fish shop will always take them off me, and as I say, the fish shop have said if I breed stuff they'll buy it. So obviously I don't want to breed like 10 million of everything and turn up with black bags full of fish, because obviously they don't want that many. They'll take bits off you now and again, won't they? So there's that. And then this tank, what I've got is I've got the guppies, I've got the male guppies in there, the Dumbo ears, and then I've got bristlenose plecos. I've also got some ramshorn snails in there, and then what I'm going to do is add the females and just leave this as just to breed out. That's my plan for this tank. And then this tank, obviously I've got the male and female endless, but this looks like a female guppy, so obviously they're not purebred, but the pet shop grade. You know, if I work the line, then I should get a nice endler out of them. What I'm planning on doing is putting a different type of bristlenose plecos in here. The fish shop, when I was talking to them, said one fish that they were after, one type of bristlenose pleco, and I've ordered some online, so that'll be in the next video. It'll be an unboxing video, that hopefully, but I've ordered from 2 different breeders, so to keep the genes fresh. So I've got 2 from one, 2 from another, and then that'll start the colony, and then I'll start adding as and when to build up a colony of breeding. So this is my plan, and I know Corey says in this video that you should only set 1 tank up, and then what I'm going to put on here is cherry shrimp, red cherry shrimp, and then just let them breed out. Every now and again I'll just put a few more reds in when I see them in the shops, just breed out a massive colony, and then that'll give me, and then what I can do is start culling anything. I can take loads out, sell a few, and then keep the very best and start again. But as I say, what I want to do is get back into breeding, and I've ordered some plecos, I'm going to grow some angels out, I've got guppies, and then what I want to do with the guppies is kind of selectively breed just a few different strains of guppies and endlers, some nice pedigree fish, rather than just pet shop grade. So that's my plan for this tank. And then this tank, I've told you my plan for that. I'm going to breed them endlers out. And then this tank, I'm not sure, I haven't come to a complete decision on what I want to do in this tank yet, but once I've got some females to go in that tank, then this tank will be free. I'm thinking of putting some more plecos in here, a different type of bristlenose pleco. I want a few different types of bristlenose plecos, or plecos in general, as basis of my breeding projects, and then I can put something else in here. Now obviously I've got the endlers down there and the endlers in there, so I could put an endler in here, and then I'm starting to work some different lines of endlers and guppies, and I enjoy breeding live birds. It's good fun, so gives me something to play with. Then I'll have plecos, guppies, endlers, angels to breed, and cherries. I've got, as I say, I've got 3 colonies of cherries, and I'm thinking of putting blues in here on the sand. That's why I put sand in, so we can see the blues. And then in this one I was thinking to put either the yellows or the reds, maybe the reds because they'll stand out on the substrate, and then this one the yellows, but I'm not too sure with this one yet. But anyway, that's an update on where I'm up to, guys. So I've got the celestial Peldanios, which the tank they're in now, I'm thinking of setting that up as a breeding tank, and I'm going to go with that. And obviously I've got Java moss, I want to grow that out, and once I've got some big clumps of Java moss, I'll get them in all the tanks, but I want to grow it out immersed before I start. But anyway guys, that's it for today, take care.